Hey, welcome to Coach's Corner, everyone. Thanks for watching Monday night as we highlight Kerry Goode in the Goode and Faithful Servant episode, as Kerry talks about faith, family, and football. A former running back at Alabama in the NFL and a coach in the NFL as well. Kerry Goode came down with ALS about 10, 12 years ago. And he and my high school teammate, Timmy Green, shout out to Timmy. Timmy also does a podcast hosted by his son, Troy. I think it's called Nothing Left Unsaid. Really good podcast. Shout out to Timmy. All ALS patients. Lou Gehrig's disease, now 10 to 12 years, both of them in it. They've lost all mobility and movement in their arms. Can't even talk anymore. But that with the help of AI technology, Kerry and Timmy, they think it into the computer, and the computer spits it out in their voice. So we want to be thankful for that technology. Kerry and I waited about a year so if we could do this show. And we deep dive into his book, Kerry's book, Goode and Faithful Servant, right there by Kerry Goode. Okay, and we take a couple chapters every week, and we dissect it. And this week we're going to tackle Nothing Compares to You, it's called. This is brought to you by Hill Kelly Dodge. I also want to thank all my other great sponsors, Seiler Agency, Ronnie's Car Wash, Pensacola Glass, Sterling Realty, David Valeto, Arbitrium, State Farm. Bubba's 33 is a new one, so go by and see Bubba's 33. Alabama watch parties are there in the fall. Also, Raul Ramirez, go see him, Gulf Breeze Insurance, another one of our new sponsors. But we want to be thankful for all of them. Of course, here on Coach's Corner, folks, we try to inspire and educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body act. Today, we're going to tackle day 54. Kerry breaks up his book into days, up to 196 days, I think it is. And we're at day 54. And this is called, again, Nothing Compares to You. These are in Kerry's words. One of the fastest ways of discouraging yourself and getting trapped by the sin of envy is when you compare yourself to others. I've lived most of my life comparing myself to others. At first, it was in school and in sports. But as I got older, I began comparing other metrics, things like job title, income level, house size, and worldly successes. It's easier than ever to constantly find someone better to compare ourselves to, which only serves to make us feel bad about ourselves. The tendency to compare ourselves to others is as human as other emotion. Your comparison could be someone's status you aim to achieve. When someone is depressed about their life, it's normally because they are evaluating their life against someone else's. This comparison is generally a fast track to unhappiness. It's a recipe for misery, Kerry says. All it does is keep you focused on what you don't like about yourself in your life. Comparing yourself to others is a decision that only steals joy from your life. Count your blessings and not the blessings of someone else. Do not have a desire for your neighbor's house. Do not have a desire for your neighbor's wife, servant, bull, donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Exodus 20:17. Okay, my first question for Kerry. See if we can get organized here since I am the producer as well. All right, should have been prepared on that one. Kerry, this is my first question, buddy. Comparing seems okay until envy enters the picture. Is the theme of this chapter be happy for your neighbor instead of jealous of what he or she is or has?
Hello, Paul. Hello to everyone under the sound of my voice. It's great to be here with you. Let's get to it. Let me share something I've learned about the dangers of comparison and envy. It's a trap that steals joy and blinds us to the blessings in our own lives. For much of my life, I fell into the habit of comparing myself to others. In school, it was grades and sports. As I got older, it became job titles, income, house size, and outward success. It's easier than ever to find someone better to compare yourself to, but all it does is make you feel like you are falling short. At first, comparison might seem harmless. Maybe you admire someone's achievements and aspire to do the same, but when envy creeps in, it becomes toxic. Suddenly, instead of focusing on God's plan for your life, you're stuck wishing for someone else's. Comparison does not bring joy. It leads to frustration and discontent. The Bible warns us about this mindset. Do not have a desire for your neighbor's house, wife, servant, bull, donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Exodus 20:17. God knows that comparing ourselves to others opens the door to envy, which only leads to misery. Instead, we're called to count our blessings and recognize the unique purpose God has for our lives. Here's a better way. Be happy for others instead of jealous of what they have. Romans 12:15 reminds us to rejoice with those who rejoice. Celebrating someone else's success does not take anything away from you. It reminds you that God's blessings are abundant. He has a plan for everyone, and someone else's triumphs don't diminish yours. If you catch yourself comparing, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, why am I focused on this? What is God teaching me? These moments of self-awareness can help you realign with gratitude and contentment. Trust that God's plan for your life is unfolding exactly as it should. Remember, your journey is unique. Let go of envy and comparison. They only distract you from the life God has beautifully designed for you. Be grateful, count your blessings, and celebrate the successes of others. That's where you'll find true peace and joy.
Wow. Comparison seems harmless, but envy does creep in. It becomes toxic. Interesting, Kerry. Romans 12:15. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Be happy for those others. Don't be jealous of them. If you catch yourself comparing yourself, pause and reflect, Kerry says. And self-awareness can lead to contentment. Yeah, if you're not self-aware, watch out. Matter of fact, we've talked about this before, but Dougie Baldwin, a great wide receiver from Gulf Breeze High School, went to Stanford and became a great Seattle Seahawk wide receiver in the NFL. He said self-awareness was his engine. It was actually how he looked at himself and what he was doing, and became so much better by being self-aware. All right, let's go on. Let's go on to the next chapter in Kerry's book. This is day 56, and Kerry titles it "I Feel Lucky." Says Kerry says we live in a very superstitious world. 90% of high-rise buildings have no 13th floor. Hospitals and hotels regularly have no room number 13. Ever hear someone say, "Knock on wood"? Cross your fingers. To avoid bad luck and help like a wish come true. We believe in lady luck, luck of the draw, luck of the Irish. If it weren't for bad luck, I have no luck at all. No luck at all. Rather be lucky than good. The list goes on and on. While playing football at Alabama, I suffered. This is Kerry saying, okay. When I played football at Alabama, I suffered a devastating knee injury that hampered my career. Without the injury, some of you would never know me on a personal level. I didn't know it at the time, but now I see that as so-called bad luck has been a part of the master's plan. When you understand Jeremiah 29:11, quote, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope in a future," unquote, then life becomes easier to bear. Some people say that I've been lucky all my life, but I tell you emphatically that I have been blessed. That's Kerry's words, more wisdom from Kerry. All right, a couple observations that I made on this. Don't rely on luck. As believers, we see bad luck as lessons to be learned and good luck as blessings to be given. Suffering serves a purpose in God's plan, Kerry says. All right, Kerry, I got one more question for you, buddy. Let's see. Oh, hang on. We're on question 2. Kerry, I laughed when I read this last sentence because my brother Scott always told me I was so lucky. Only in later in life did I realize I was so blessed. I've had some low moments in my life, but there are way more highs. Is it normal to wonder why sometimes we've been so blessed?
Oh, it is absolutely normal to wonder why you have been so blessed. In fact, reflecting on the blessings in your life is a powerful way to deepen your faith and recognize God's hand in your journey. What might have seemed like bad luck at one point, like my knee injury, later revealed itself as part of the Master's perfect plan. Through that injury, I gained opportunities to connect with others on a deeper, personal level, a blessing that might not have come any other way. We live in a world that leans heavily on superstition and luck, people knocking on wood, crossing their fingers, or relying on the luck of the Irish. But as believers, we know there's no such thing as random chance. Instead, there is a sovereign God who orchestrates every detail of our lives according to his purpose. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us of this truth. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. When you frame your life through this lens, everything changes. The low moments, the setbacks, even the pain, all serve a purpose in God's greater plan. What the world might call luck is actually his grace, his blessings, and his faithfulness. That realization does not just make life easier to bear, it fills it with meaning and gratitude. It's also important to acknowledge the highs and lows of life. There's nothing wrong with reflecting on the why of your blessings. It's a way of marveling at God's goodness. Your story, like mine, is one of struggle, triumph, and abundant grace. It's a testimony that can inspire and encourage others to trust in his plan. So yes, it's normal to wonder why you've been so blessed, but the beauty of it is knowing that your blessings are not random, they're intentional. They're a reminder of God's love for you and the unique purpose he has for your life. Embrace them, share them, and continue to be a light to those around you. You are blessed indeed.
Not random. They're intentional. God intended for Kerry to get hurt on that day. God intended him to get ALS so he could reach more people, so he can positively impact others. That's the true success of somebody. You know, it's all right, Kerry, I got one more question for you. You know, I wasn't very superstitious as a player or coach, but man, I've seen things. What is the quirkiest superstition you've ever heard of?
Ball players are known for their quirky superstitions, and some of them are truly fascinating. Here are a few standout examples. Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, wears the same pair of red underwear for every game. He claims it brings him luck, and he is committed to keeping the tradition alive as long as he is winning. Another is Josh Allen's pregame vomiting, which I don't think is so rare. The Buffalo Bills quarterback has a unique ritual. He throws up before every game. He does not know why, but it's become a consistent part of his pregame routine. Let me tell you, I threw up before every game until I was a junior at Alabama. After my knee injury, I did not do it anymore because the worst thing I feared had already happened. These superstitions might seem odd, but they highlight how players use rituals to boost confidence and focus. Trip, please allow me to recap tonight's segment. We explored the fascinating quirks of superstitions, both in general and within the world of football. It's clear that people lean on peculiar habits for confidence and luck. We also touched on the dangers of comparison and envy, emphasizing the biblical wisdom to count blessings and celebrate others' successes rather than coveting them. Now, for my closing remarks, life is full of lessons woven into our experiences, traditions, and even challenges. Superstitions may be fun quirks that inspire confidence, but true strength comes from trusting God's plan, as Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us. Avoid the trap of comparison. It only steals your joy. Instead, embrace gratitude, focus on your blessings, and celebrate the victories of others. Stay curious, stay grounded, and always take time to appreciate the unique journey God has designed for you. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, be blessed.
Awesome, KG. Beautifully done, man. Way to wrap up and recap the show. Holy mackerel. Great story about Josh Allen. And I didn't know that about you until you hurt your knee. You stopped throwing up after that, before every game. Wow. True strength comes from trusting God's plan, not superstition. Thanks, KG. Love you, buddy. Thanks for sharing your God-given wisdom. Everybody, if you like the show, share it, man. Kerry's got a great message. And I'm thankful for him, for sure, and thankful for everything and grateful for everything we have, grateful for my sponsors and this show. Have a great sports night, everybody. God bless. So long.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner. Over 30 years, you have seen the orange Beck signs all over the Gulf Coast listing a property for sale or lease. Beck Partners is your trusted advisor in commercial real estate, property management, commercial and personal insurance. Senior Vice President David Valletto has been with Beck Partners since 1989. Take advantage of his wealth of knowledge by calling him today at 982-7352. 982-7352. Extensive experience in all aspects of leasing, sales, management, and site selection will make sure your expectations are exceeded.
My name is Steve Reynolds. I'm the manager and owner of Cordova Lanes, and we help keep your mind out of the gutter. Cordova Lanes is part of the community of Pensacola. Being here for 43 years, we've entertained more people than any other bowling center in the city. We self-fund for a living. Cordova Lanes is located at 2111 Airport Boulevard in Pensacola, behind Cordova Mall. Come on out and see us at Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Thank you.
Hey, Pensacola, are you ready for the madness? Join us at Bubba's 33 all during the NCAA tournament for some great fun. There will be busted bracket giveaways, basketball bingo, food and drink specials, and a whole lot more. Catch all of the games on one of our 54 TVs or create your own team watch party. Bubba's 33 at the corner of Davis and Creighton, the home of March Madness.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on your home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Will Rentschler is your go-to agent in Pensacola, Florida for the service you deserve at the price that you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Will Rentschler has you covered. Call 850-433-4678 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Legal disclaimer, individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.